right in. The big news coming out of Philly, that man right there, Carter Hart, signing a new 3-year extension with the Flyers. The AAV just under $4 million a year. This is the goalie of the future for the Flyers, trying to come back after a bad year, or a year that maybe was down by his standards, but still, Carter Hart, the future of Philly. Let's hear from him on the new deal earlier today.
Definitely feels good to get the deal out of the way, and now we'll just look forward to clean slate next year. And summer's been good. Got a lot of training in so far, and still got a little bit left. So I'm really looking forward to starting here soon. There's been a couple areas this offseason we've highlighted together, from our goalie coach in Philly, Tim Bilbao, with my goalie coach back home here, Dustin Schwartz. There's been a couple things there that we've targeted to work on, and I think we've made a lot of good progress. It's really great to know that an organization is behind you and they trust you. And I mean, now it's my job just to go out and play the game and just train and work as hard as I can to be prepared for the season. And I know everybody else is doing the same, and it'll be great to get to work here soon.
All right, sounds like a guy who's ready to put last year behind him and get back to work. What do you make of Carter Hart and his progression so far in the NHL?
Well, I think much like a young tour pro, speaking with the golf theme, there's going to be times where mentally, your game gets overthinking and overanalyzing. And I think last year there was a lot of pressure on the Philadelphia Flyers to maintain what they had done the year before. We heard a lot of, there was criticism from the coaching staff. There was frustration from the players. There was frustration from Carter Hart. But, I mean, let me tell you that it is not an easy job as a young goaltender to maintain a certain level. The history of the game has shown that many great goaltenders that are first-round picks, from Grant Fuhr to Tom Barrasso to even Ron Hextall, the first general manager of the Philadelphia Flyers, when he was trying to keep Carter Hart in the minors and everybody was trying to push him to the NHL, there's a reason why Ron Hextall stayed committed as long as he could to that. Carey Price went through a tough time. It's just very, very difficult, especially in cities that expectations are high, criticism is high as well. And I just like his fundamentals. So Jameson, to answer your question, when you have the fundamentals, when you have the natural ability, when you have the calmness under fire, he's going to be just fine. Yeah. And I think the biggest key is when he does get a skate off the rails, is as a young goaltender, all the great ones got their skates back on the rails quicker, rather than taking 2 or 3 weeks and letting the criticism and the questions linger on. So that'll be a big goal of his, is to get those skates back on the rails as soon as possible. And we look at the save percentage last year, and we look at the goals against average, and that's not a direct reflection on just him. That's the guys playing in front of him as well. Absolutely. And that was widely, criticized and widely reported about this team. They had deficiencies, not only up front, but coming back as a team and a unit and stuff. So you can see some of the additions here trying to bolster that blue line, bringing in guys like Ryan Ellis, Rasmus Ristolainen, even the veteran Keith Yandel there to maybe work the power play a little bit more. But you think he gets a little bit more help in front of him this year? I do. And things just come together in a better way, both defensively and goaltending? I like the competitiveness of this group right here. Cam Atkinson, Nate Thompson, Ryan Ellis, a competitive son of a gun back there in front of you. Ristolainen's been a losing environment. He's going to be excited to get into Philadelphia and to go to a rink saying, the expectations are winning, not hanging in there. No, it's winning and being a contender. So anyway, I do like this group, and I love Keith Yandel. I think he brings some levity to that locker room as well. He's a funny guy, but he's a competitive guy as well. And then obviously the goaltender Martin Jones. Martin Jones got a great demeanor for this combination. I think they did some good research here to pick off Martin Jones. Martin Jones isn't going to be the #1 guy. I think he's going to be exceptional as the #2 guy there, just as Brian Elliott was for a number of years with Carter Hart. And I think Brian Elliott was a big help to Carter Hart, both practice, getting yourself ready, off the ice, and then after a game when it doesn't go well, you need a partner there. Yeah. You don't need somebody kicking you in the shin. You need somebody to, sometimes you need a little loving. Sometimes you need a little hug. You know what I mean, JC? Right? A little hug goes a long way sometimes if you're in a down situation. So Carter Hart, certainly up situation, signing the 3-year extension. Congratulations to the young netminder in Philly.